He's a summoned beast the whole world looked down on. But the moment I summoned him, I went absolutely crazy, hugging and kissing him. My classmates immediately started clowning on me, calling me a total idiot. Even my homeroom teacher, though who had high hopes for me, was furious, saying I'd wasted everything he'd done for me. But I just smiled and said nothing. Instead, I sold everything I had and bought a full 100 pounds of monster meat to feed my little dog and unlock his hidden talent. I patted him on the head, and a contract notification rang out in my mind. Loyalty. Will never betray. Initiate soul bond? Without hesitation, I hit yes. In a pain that felt like my soul was being ripped apart, I screamed and hit the ground. My classmates thought I just couldn't handle the blow and started roasting me. Then my campus queen girlfriend, Liu Ruyan, walked over with a guilty look and said, "Sorry. The college exam is the only shot people like us have at moving up in life. Liu Liang, the gun lancer, just agreed to team up with me, so I can't go with you anymore." I got up casually and replied, "No worries." That short, flat response caught her off guard. She had more to say, but the words got stuck. A wave of feeling unimportant washed over her. She let out a cold scoff and turned to walk away without looking back. A girl nearby shot me a disgusted look and said, "He's obviously just fronting. Ruyan, you did nothing wrong. Why are you even apologizing? He can only summon some tiny little black dog. What makes him think he deserves you?" But I wasn't paying either of them any attention. Because after the soul bond completed, I discovered my dog had awakened an SSS tier talent, gluttony. Any food he eats gets converted into pure energy. No growth cap. Breaks straight through to the ultimate tier. Looks like all that suffering was worth it. Across all of Daxia, you could count on one hand the number of people with an SSS tier talent. Every time one shows up, the government goes full protective mode, and for good reason, they're just that powerful. I grabbed the little black dog and pulled him close. "From now on, your name is Haiming. You better work hard for me." Haiming licked me, looking genuinely happy. I tossed him a steak. He demolished it in no time. Consumed common meat. Evolution plus 0.5. The moment that notification hit, Haiming grew ever so slightly, and all base stats went up by 1 point. And that was just from one regular steak. If he could keep eating more and more powerful food, just how terrifying would he become? And what surprised me even more, my own strength seemed to tick up a little. Looks like the system lets a portion of my summon's energy feed back to me. Right away, I spent over 6,000 on a full 100 pounds of mutant lean meat. I called out Haiming with a thought. The moment he saw the bright red mutant meat in front of him, he felt an intense craving surge from deep inside and immediately started tearing into it. He went absolutely wild, converting everything into pure energy. As the devouring continued non-stop, endless power flooded through Haiming's entire body, and his size was growing at a visible, insane rate. I could feel my whole body leveling up too. Half an hour passed, Haiming had shot up to over 2 meters tall, and every single one of my stats had jumped up by 10 points. Top tier even across all classes combined. Haiming's almost cheating way of getting stronger could help me close the gap with everyone else fast. I didn't hesitate. I hit the evolution button in the system, and the moment I confirmed, the terrifying talent core deep inside Haiming trembled. Waves of dark evolution energy erupted, cells split, genes restructured, life leaping toward a higher tier. Congratulations, your summon Haiming has obtained the skill. Rend. Congratulations, your summon Haiming has awakened a new talent. Gigantify, triples body size, strength and defense. Through 300%, speed, 50%. After this evolution, every one of Haiming's stats broke past 50, and this was only level 1. Not even the top tier summons could touch that. Summons in this world are ranked into 4 tiers, low, mid, high, and top. The ranking is based on talent grade. SSS is the top tier. As for a summon actually reaching SSS tier talent, that had never happened before. After that, I took Haiming home to sleep, ready to see what kind of monsters would show up at tomorrow's college exam. The next day, crowds flooded the plaza. Teacher Lu Wen was going over all the details about entering the dungeon. This exam threw students from multiple top high schools together all at once. The competition level was off the charts. Liu Liang, who had been full of confidence, was now sweating through his shirt. "Chen Lin, why even bother showing up? Just quit now and save yourself the embarrassment. There's a saying, if you never compete, you can lie to yourself that you never lost." The one talking was a guy named Ye Chao. Next to him was Liu Ruyan, rocking a mage robe, looking stunning. They were clearly on the same team. I ignored them. A bell rang out and 4 massive bronze gates swung open at the same time. Through the narrow cracks, waves of cold, eerie air poured out. Every student moved without hesitation, immediately checking the dungeon info for their assigned zone. "We're done for. School 2 got assigned to the Bone Burial Forest. That's literally one of the dungeons with the highest failure rate. All dungeons are roughly the same difficulty. What are you crying about? School 3 got an easier one. Of course you guys aren't complaining." Seeing the commotion, Lu Wen quickly warned the students behind him. "The Bone Burial Forest has complex terrain. The trees and shrubs are extremely dense. Watch out for monster ambushes and stay alert to everything around you at all times." Lu Wen then pulled out something that looked like a watch. "This is a recorder built by a mechanist. It'll transmit your scores from inside the dungeon to the outside." Then another bell rang. The college exam had officially begun. A girl in white armor with long flowing hair and absolutely stunning looks was the first to enter the dungeon. "That's Su Ling Xiu, senior from our school 3. She went in solo. The more teammates you bring, the lower your score multiplier gets, so the strong ones always go alone." Countless underclassmen sitting around the plaza were buzzing with excitement. I focused my mind, linked to the dungeon, and a white light swallowed me whole. Solo run, same as her. After everyone had entered the dungeon, a middle-aged man at level 20 raised his hand, conjuring a water screen to project live footage from inside the dungeons. Right then, a flash of white light, a School 2 student had chosen to voluntarily quit the dungeon. Every School 2 teacher looked at each other, then silently hung their heads. Feeling the mocking stares from all around, Li Mingji's expression darkened. He stared at the water screen without saying a word. The water screen slowly shifted, and a lone figure appeared, moving through a dense forest, carefully scanning his surroundings. Li Mingji looked shocked. Wait, did School 2 have a student this skilled at yesterday's class change ceremony? Lu Wen heard the question and didn't know what to say. He knew full well I was just an ordinary summoner. But inside the dungeon, I shook off a brief dizzy spell and immediately snapped to attention, scanning everything around me. Suddenly, the sound of something dropping above. No hesitation. My left hand shot out and a staff over a meter long appeared from thin air. A dark green serpent as thick as a barrel lunged from above, its jaws splitting wide open, exposing rows of horrifying teeth. I gripped the other end of the staff and pulled out a streak of white light, slicing straight through the dark green serpent's body. Split clean in two, it dropped to the ground like a snapped kite string. You have slain the Venomfang worm, obtained 5 EXP. At the same time, a notification lit up on the device on my wrist. Score plus 115. Back outside, everyone watching was speechless. Wait, isn't he a summoner? But those reflexes and that speed, you'd need insanely high agility stats to pull that off. Lu Wen was just as shocked. Sure, I'd done well in combat practice before, but nothing even close to this. After killing the serpent, I pushed deeper into the forest. Just then, a strange, eerie shriek rang out, and one by one, short, ugly creatures with slimy green skin began to appear. I recognized them immediately. Goblins. Textbooks say they're vicious by nature, breed fast, and will turn on each other when food runs out. I did a quick count. Looked like 5 or 6. That many rushing me all at once? I'd have almost no shot at surviving, so I called out to He Ming in my mind. A burst of white light appeared instantly. A long, piercing howl echoed through the forest. He Ming's cold, vertical pupils locked onto the pack of goblins charging straight at us. Fangs bared. He launched off all 4 legs like a cannonball. The lead goblin's skull caved in on impact, sending it flying backwards with full force. The goblins on both sides screamed and brought their weapons down with everything they had. Jagged bone clubs crashed into He Ming's back and shattered on impact. He Ming spun around and slammed a paw straight into a goblin's head.
Follow, like, comment, and share for part 2.